main thing is, mind you, that although you know English, trying to adapt to American version of the English, and second thing is obviously the food, universal quality, the truth, and kindness, and all that. So main thing is that cultural difference is mostly the way you communicate with each other. Your relationship with family is about the same, like you care for family, so but everybody else. And second thing is about the food, about the transportation. It's mind you that it may be a little different for us, that we are professional people. We read the same books, medicine is the same. Obviously, it's much more developed than in other countries. So that is really, in a way, I didn't have too much difficulty in transition as such. We have been very much blessed with good friends, good neighbors, people you work with. So we have been very much blessed that with the community we live here. We're accepted very well, and once in a while, let's be the factual thing, we really don't encounter too much problem being a minority. It comes with time that it's their judgment, in a way, more philosophical terms, and what they believe in. Right. They're entitled to it, what they believe in, and so am I. So as long as it's a civil discourse, it's a civilized, and then 99.9% we don't have any problem, really, any major issues. That actually, my interest, and let me give you a little bit history, that one of the family name, which is now we don't use, is called Hakim, Hakim. Hakim in that language means doctor. So originally, several hundred years ago, that's how our family, one of them, which we don't use it by the way, is that they were physicians several centuries ago. So we had medicine books before the press came around. We had medicine books which were handwritten. Wow. So, and plus, obviously, when the press came around, we had several books which were 100 years old, or maybe longer than that. So that's kind of created a little bit interest in the medicine. Maybe it was more of a family thing, and that permeated through. Medicine doesn't have, as such, any borders. Medicine is universal. You treat everybody the same, hopefully. Medicine doesn't have any religion. Medicine is neither Democrat or Republican. One of the reasons coming to United States, because obviously that everybody studies a little bit, and our families were quite fond of reading. We used to subscribe even that time, Life magazine and Time magazine. It is that why did I come to the United States? Number one, it's the most advanced country, scientifically, medicine-wise, most advanced. Most of the technology, modern technology, was developed here in this country. And that's one of the reasons, and obviously the democratic society, the free society. So these are combined. It was not just one factor, and just several things, that opportunity to learn, opportunity to achieve, and that's why this country is so great, that there are opportunities to learn, advance yourself, scientifically, financially even, would you say, So they were a combination of factors which made me come here, and obviously we used to get literature from, say, England and magazine, England, United States, like Time, Life, and these were the two most common read. At least I read them, and you read about the history of the development of this country, which you know. So that these were several factors which made me come here, and obviously there are financial. I must admit, there's a little bit financial incentive too. Neurology, I was always very interested in neurology. It's, it's a very complex system, number one. Number two, it was a challenge, so to say. Very little was known when I started, at least, and she's younger than I am. Then neurology interested me because it sort of is literally the brain. So that was a major reason, the complexity, trying to understand it. Unfortunately, the way it was, the way it was going in 60s and 70s, this was more of a global thing that, and then the Vietnam started, and then after this, something happened that the younger people didn't connect as much as they did in 60s, like the time of the Beatles and the Elvis and everybody. And why it happened, I'm not I'm just a history student, so I'm not. And that why younger people, the contact of the younger people, at least at intellectual level, was not as good as it was in 60s. That's the way I feel. Why it happened, I would love to know. And so these are the few things. That the main thing is the intercultural experience. That then you get to realize, well, we're all human beings with liking, dislikings, and a lot of my time it turns out to be our own line of thinking. That gets us in problem, not to trying to understand other people. And I think if I had anything to say, which to younger people, is that really that humanity is the same, the values are the same, the truth, the kindness, the goodness, and that understanding can come only through the cultural exchange and exchange. Because mind you that a lot of the big part of the third world remains uneducated, so they have no exposure to the international scene. Like 80% of Afghans where we were fighting, they don't know that what happened on 9/11. They have nothing to do with it. Percent of Afghan people don't know what 9/11 is. What we're trying to accomplish, that has to be taken in that context. That average people are just trying to live their life, hopefully send their school to children, have a little food on the table, and maybe a little bit enjoyment in life. So that average person on the street, like in any other country or here, is pretty much busy in his own life. I think this has to come in every country in a school level, and before, so to say, our brain gets hardwired, before our brain gets so fixed in certain ideas that it's very difficult to take out of the mold that what you have been taught. whether it's politics or religion, whatever have you, that we just, majority of the people cannot think beyond the mold to think everything at a humane level, national level, and that's very, very important. That humanity just cannot be forgotten as such. I mean, there's a beauty in every culture, we try to say, except few, obviously. They should not be kind of taken as something from the, taken as aliens from the space, what you have. That these were the human beings who were evolved over centuries and millennium. And so, with democratic values, if they try to retain their old culture, it shouldn't be considered as something